LakePoint Kids Online Family Experience. I'm Ms. Rachel and I'm glad you're here today. Have you ever had an all about me day? Maybe it's your birthday, or maybe it was a special day at daycare or school, a day where you got to tell people all about yourself and they would celebrate you. Well, today we're gonna do a little bit of that. We're gonna have an all about me and an all about you day. I'm gonna tell you some things about me, and then you're gonna tell me some things about you. All right, let's start at the beginning. I already shared my name is Miss Rachel, but what is your name? I live with my husband and my 2 kids. Who do you live with? My favorite color is green. What's your favorite color? My favorite thing to do is read. What's your favorite thing to do? I like to eat chocolate chip cookies for a treat. What treat do you like to eat? My favorite animal is a peacock. What's your favorite animal? We just shared a lot of important information about ourselves, but there's one thing I haven't mentioned yet, something that's more important than anything else, more important than my favorite color, or my favorite treat, or even where I live or what I do for a job. The important news is that I love God and I try to live for Him. He is more important to me than anyone or anything else. I love Him, I trust Him, and I try to do what He says. I live for God, and I hope you live for God too. We have a story today about 3 other people who live for God. They didn't look anything like you or me, and I don't know what their favorite animal was, but they love God. Let's learn more about their story right now.
Ho, ho! You know what time it is?
It's time to hear a story full of wonder. There's so much fun we'll have learning together. So let's go down to the clubhouse with Ollie and his friends. Let's go down to the clubhouse where wonder never ends at the Wonder Clubhouse. Me and you at the Wonder Clubhouse. Me and you.
Hey friends, I'm Jackson. I'm so glad you're here. We've been having so much fun with this little red wagon. Today I have my favorite beach ball. This beach ball is super cool. It looks like the whole world. When I move the wagon, the ball rolls like this. And every time it rolls, I can see a different place I could visit all around the world. Ooh, I wonder what kind of animals I could see. Look, Antarctica. I could go there and see the seals. Let's move it again. Thailand! I go to Thailand and see the elephants. One more time. Look, now I see Costa Rica. If I went there, I would see sloths in the rainforest. I can't wait to go all around the world.
Ho, ho!
It's Ollie!
Hello, Jackson. Ho, ho! Traveling around the world, are you?
Yes, Ollie. I'm playing with my world beach ball and looking at all the different places all around the world.
There are many places to go. Yes, it's true. I have a story about something you can do. Listen up. Just follow me through. Ho, ho!
Follow me through, Ollie's got a Bible story for me and you.
Hola, friends! I'm Luis the Handyman. I'm so happy to see you today. You know, I just love being a handyman. I can fix just about anything, and I love that it helps my friends and neighbors. But as much as I love fixing things, I actually live for something more. Let me explain with a story. Do you want to help me build it? Great! Hammers up, little builders. Ready? Uno, dos, tres, hammer! Great job, little helpers. You can put your hammers down. Now we just need our story tools. Yep, we have everything we need. So, today's true story from the Bible begins with 3 people named Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They loved God, and God loved them. But there was a king named King Nebuchadnezzar. King Nebuchadnezzar thought he was the greatest king, and everyone should know it. So, he built a giant golden statue. The king said, "Every time you hear music play, you have to bow down and worship my gold statue." Hold on. This wasn't right. God says you should only bow down and worship the one true God. Then the king said, "And if you do not bow down and worship the statue, you will be thrown into a fiery furnace." Everyone say, "Whoa!" Ready? Whoa! Right? This was serious. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had a choice to make. Are they going to live for the king and do what the king says? Or are they going to live for God and do what God says? What do you think they did? Yes, Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego chose to live for God and do what God said. They told the king that God had the power to save them. But even if he didn't, they wanted to live for God. So, the next time the music played and all the other people started bowing down to the statue, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego lived for God, and they did not bow and worship the king's statue. The king was so mad. "Oh, show me your mad face." Yes, that's it. The king was so mad that he had Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego thrown into the fiery furnace. But when the king looked into the fire, he saw something amazing. There were 4 people walking around, and the fire was not hurting them at all. Oh, help me count the people in the fire. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people? Oh, God had sent an angel to keep Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego safe. When the king saw the 4 men walking around, he told Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to come out of the fire. And they did. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego chose to live for God. They knew that no matter what happened, God loved them. We can choose to live for God too, because God loves me and God loves you. Hey there, Ollie. Tell me, who loves you?
God loves me. Yes, it's true. Now let's hear it from you. Tell me, who loves you?
God loves me. That's the truth, friends. Adios. Bye.
So there's your story, and it's all true. You can live for God wherever you go, because God loves you.
Thanks, Ollie.
Goodbye to you. Ho! Ho!
Wow. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego lived for God every day, wherever they were, no matter what. God loved them and took care of them, and God loves us too. I think I got the story. Did you get it? If you did, say got it. Get it?
Got it!
Good. I can live for God when I'm in the clubhouse or at school or in Antarctica. See you next time. Bye.
I will always love you. Jeremiah 31:3. I will always love you. Jeremiah 31:3.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego loved God. They trusted God. They tried to do what he said, and they lived for God. But the king, he did not live for God. He lived for himself. King Nebuchadnezzar thought it'd be a great idea to build a giant statue of himself. He made a rule that whenever the music started, everyone had to bow down and worship the statue. What a terrible rule. Only God deserves to be worshipped. But the king said anyone who did not bow down and worship the statue would be thrown into a fiery furnace. Yikes! What would Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego do? Would they live for God and do what he said, or listen to the king? Well, they told the king they were going to live for God. They told him that God could save them from the fiery furnace, but even if God didn't, they still wouldn't bow down and worship the statue. Well, this made the king very angry, and so the three men were tossed into the fire. But something funny happened in the furnace. Something amazing happened in the furnace. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were walking around. They weren't burning up, and there was a fourth person in the fire with them too. Who was it? Well, God had sent an angel to keep the three men safe. The king was amazed. The king told them to come out of the fire. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew God loved them, and so they chose to live for God. God loves you too, friends, and you can choose to live for God. Today, friends, I want you to pretend you are safe in the fiery furnace just like the men in our story were today. First, walk around the furnace and say, I can live for God. Then dance around the furnace and say, I can live for God. Then run around the furnace and say, I can live for God. See what other movements you can make in the pretend furnace. All right, parents, now's the time to either scan the QR code on the screen or head over to the LakePoint app to fill out our online connection card. Signing our guest book lets us know who's watching and helps us stay connected to you. It also allows you to sign for our latest LakePoint initiatives and opportunities. So friends, while your parents are busy doing that, why don't you grab some blocks and build a tall tower? As well, feel free to enjoy your earlier LakePoint Kids online family experiences on our YouTube channel or on our LakePoint app in the Family Resources section. Friends, I'm so glad you tuned in today. I'll see you again next week. Same time, same place. Remember, God loves you and you can live for God.